Jim Harbaugh in Michigan wins it.
That's why this matchup's so fascinating.
And he gets that natty. Mm-hmm. Does he go to the NFL? Does he make, because I'm telling you, David, there's something to, and you know this, you have brothers, like winning the national championship at Michigan's great. Doing all this stuff, going to the playoff, it's great. But every Thanksgiving, the Harbaughs get together. Mm-hmm. Hell, Tom Crean shows up, right? And he has to look at his brother John, who beat him in the Super Bowl, okay? Regardless of what you do at Michigan, you're never winning Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas, right? It's like his dad, Jack's like, man, John, I'm so proud of you. And Jim, man, you tried really.
Oh, don't do Jim.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. It's got that type of vibe to it. And I feel like the Harbaugh's father would try and create that competitive environment.
Oh, you think so?
I think he's like Spike's dad from Little Giants, just rubbing his
after
calves
Jim
with milk
named him
night.
interim head coach this year when he was suspended.
Look, you're all right.
It means something.
It means something. It doesn't mean everything, though. It doesn't mean that Super Bowl.
That is
so
true.
does Jim with all the NCAA stuff. If they win it this year at Michigan, you put it together. You beat Ohio State 3 years in a row. You flip the script. Michigan's back in the national title glow. Does he go to the NFL and say, all right, I've got one Infinity Stone. Now I got to go fight Thanos?
If I knew, brother, I promise you I would.
No, David, I need an answer from you. I need an answer.
Figuring out what Jim Harbaugh is going to do is even more difficult than what Nick Saban would do. I mean, first of all, if Jim Harbaugh won the national championship, like you're talking about doing something that even his head coach back in the day, Bo Schembechler, didn't do, right? You brought a program all the way back, rescued this Michigan program. And I find it interesting just because even before Jim Harbaugh had figured out a way to beat Ohio when Urban Meyer was still there and he was losing all these games, there was still conversations about Jim Harbaugh going to the NFL. One of the few coaches we've seen who's had extreme success at both levels of football, right? Like not just everybody can do that. Pete Carroll's been able to do it, some others. But are we talking about a situation here where, and you talk about the NCAA stuff, like all of that's going to factor into this. People are talking about he could be suspended all the next year. I don't understand anything that's going on with college football wanting to run Jim Harbaugh out of it and run him back to the NFL. It's crazy to me. But are we talking about a situation where it's more difficult for Jim Harbaugh to win a national championship at Michigan in this current landscape than it would be for him to even win a Super Bowl?
When it comes to skincare and you've got skin in the game, it's Genucel. And with Christmas, bowl games, the NBA, NHL, there's a lot to be stressed about. College basketball, all right? And stress and lack of sleep. David, they can give you those pesky under-eye bags. What'd you call yourself? You were Jeff Bagswell?
Y'all called me
Jeffy
Bags. Y'all called me
J-Bags.
Puffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, it was bad.
I got Genucel.
It's like somebody just deflated the puffiness under your eyes. It's great. And the good news is that you never have to worry about that when you have Genucel skincare. Skincare for men and women. All right, and from now until Christmas, the most popular package Genucel has a special discount just for our listeners and watchers at Genucel.com/booster. It's GENUCEL.com/booster. They send a ton of stuff down to the office. Everybody absolutely loves it. And included in your most popular package is your free, and I'm going to say this right, hyaluronic acid serum for skin hydration to restoration. Pow!
Well done.
That's exactly right. Skin's looking delicious and silky smooth. So go to Genucel.com/booster. That's GENUCEL.com/booster. Think you know how to spell that, to get this incredible holiday discount. Every order today, instantly upgraded to free express shipping. NASCAR. Let's hurry up and get a snap off. That's Genucel.com/booster. Genucel, you got skin in the game. I just feel like it's the margin for error the margin between teams is so much tighter in the NFL. Like Michigan can go out against Indiana and play bad and get away with it. Like they can go out, and I'm not saying just the Big Ten. There's teams in the SEC you can go play bad against it and have a chance. I just feel like to be able to consistently win in the NFL, it's just a harder job. I know there's no recruiting, right? I know there's no academics, but the difference between the worst team and the best team is still so much tighter than even the worst team in Michigan's conference versus them. So I would say it evens the odds a lot more with what the NCAA is doing, but I still think it's harder to win the NFL.
Well, yeah, I think it comes down to what the NCAA does. And if they don't do anything technically, if you're Jim, why would you want to leave? Mm-hmm. Like, why would you want to go start over? And I get what you're saying, the whole brotherly thing. I trust me, I understand that. But you're winning. Like, your son is coaching at Ohio State right now. That's what Ryan Day is. He is your child. And you are running through the one team that you're afraid of. I don't care what anybody tells me. Michigan is not afraid of Penn State. They're not. We see the same game every year. You're better than everybody in your conference. The last 2 to 3 years, you're getting the playoffs every year. You might have run into a Georgia team that I don't think anybody was beating. People want to rag on Michigan for that loss a couple of years ago. No one's beating that Georgia team. TCU, we can have an honest conversation, but you're running your conference. It's about to go to a 12 team, so you're going to be in the playoffs every single year. Why go start over?
And you're the golden son.
Why go start over in the NFL?
But again, to Jake's point, I don't know what Jim Harbaugh inside. Well, I don't know. Like, does he desperately still want to go be an NFL head coach?
I don't
like,
know,
Michigan's
man.
that one job where it's like that's most people's last job.
Yeah.
Right? Like most people don't want to leave there. And make no mistake, I'm not talking about on my hypothetical for just any coach. Is it easier to win a Super Bowl than a national championship? Right? Like that's not the conversation. I'm talking about Jim Harbaugh specifically. You're at Michigan. You're in the Big Ten in an era where the SEC has had a stranglehold on the college football playoff. And Jim Harbaugh has proven in December and in January with this month layover, it hasn't worked out. Like he has to change something on the college football level. But in the NFL, he brought that San Francisco 49ers franchise back from the depths. I mean, in 2003, 4, 5.
He's going to have to do that again with the roster. He's going to have to do the same thing.
Wherever he goes.
Wherever he goes.
Sure.
He's going to have to do the same thing.
Well, if you win it this year, I mean, I'm not saying you can't win it the next year or two within 3 years, but I mean, look at the teams that are going to the Big Ten.
You would have delivered on everything you were hired.
Everything, like you might as well strike while the iron's hot, get out. Like to me, if it has to be the right situation in the NFL, but I'm just, there's something about that Thanksgiving dinner, man, I keep thinking about when they sit down across from each other.
And if the NCAA is coming after him, I'm out.
Everybody on YouTube, thanks for stopping by. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We drop content all the time, even over the Christmas break. If you haven't seen Lady Ballers, our new movie that's absolutely blowing up, make sure you go to the Daily Wire Plus and check it out. But turn on that notification bell and hit that like button on every video you see. We really appreciate it.